Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're here, because today we're tackling something that dictates quite literally every single result you get in your reality. Your thinking power is either your absolute greatest weakness, keeping you boxed in and frustrated, or it is the ultimate tool to completely transform your career, your bank balance, and your relationships. If you can learn to direct it, you can build absolutely anything. But how exactly do we do that?
Okay, let's dive right into this. We're going to break down a cohesive 6-step framework today: the passive mind trap, the law of polarity, setting 10x goals, the flow of giving, backward planning, and constant mental evolution.
I want us to start with a totally honest self-audit. Really look at your life right now. Are your biggest, most important projects totally stalled? Are you maybe secretly just waiting for someone to notice you, rescue you, or hand you that lucky break? Listen, if your answer is yes, you are entirely caught in the ultimate trap of a passive mind.
The legendary thinker Jim Rohn really hit the nail on the head here. Success isn't some beautifully wrapped gift that someone's going to come and place in your hands. Life never gets better by chance, It only gets better by change. And that change has to originate right there, inside your own head. You have to actively create your reality instead of just waiting around for it to happen to you.
So, that brings us to law number 1, the passive mind trap, and activating the power of projection.
Breaking out of your current circumstances means you have to start looking at your immediate surroundings from entirely new angles. That is what projection actually means. It's the conscious choice to see potential where everyone else just sees ruin. Think about it. When you look at a broken building, do you just see a pile of rubble, or can you visualize a luxurious palace? When you hit a roadblock, do you immediately throw your hands up and say, "I'm stuck"? Or do you ask, "Okay, so what path is still open?" If you don't project positive possibilities, you're basically a beggar sitting on a box of gold. You have immense wealth right beneath you, but you're flat out refusing to open the lid. Moving on to law number 2, the law of polarity and finding the hidden solution attached to every problem.
To handle the inevitable obstacles life throws at us, we have to look at this core truth of our universe, which Ralph Waldo Emerson brilliantly pointed out. Everything exists in opposites, right? Up and down, dark and light. And what this means is that a problem or a painful situation never arrives alone. It literally cannot. It always brings a hidden opportunity, a vital lesson, or a corresponding solution right alongside it.
So how do we practically apply this when things go sideways? Use this simple 4-step protocol. When disaster strikes, don't panic. Open a diary and write the exact problem down. Just get it out of your head. Then ask yourself, what is actually left in this situation? Followed by, what can be made better? And finally, what is my very first actionable move? Napoleon Hill famously noted that your biggest opportunity is usually hiding exactly where you're standing right now. One tiny spark of observation can change the entire trajectory of your life.
All right, law number 3, setting 10x goals for absolute personal transformation.
Now, if your mind suddenly sees all these open paths, it's going to wander. It needs a massive anchor to stay focused. Now, what's really interesting about this idea from Dr. Benjamin Hardy is the apparent contradiction. He argues that achieving a 2x goal is actually harder than hitting a 10x goal. I mean, it sounds totally absurd at first, right? How in the world could aiming incredibly high be easier than playing it safe? Well, here is exactly why. When you set a safe 2x goal, you're essentially just asking your old identity to work a little bit harder. It's exhausting, and eventually your subconscious is going to pull you right back into your old struggles. But a 10x goal? That is terrifyingly large. It's so massive that your old identity literally cannot accomplish it. You are forced to completely abandon your old habits and become an entirely new, elevated version of yourself to even stand a chance.
When you truly commit to that 10x level, Bob Proctor teaches that you activate 5 highly specific subconscious powers. Your imagination expands, your self-control tightens up, you start seeing the world from a completely new perspective. You build bulletproof belief systems, and you start picking up on subconscious signals you used to just ignore. A 10x goal isn't just about becoming a millionaire or passing some huge exam. It's a psychological mechanism designed to completely free you from your old story.
Let's move to law number 4, the flow of giving and the rules of universal engagement.
A huge goal without the right engagement strategy is just going to leave you exhausted. The harsh truth we have to face is that 99% of people stay stuck because they demand the reward before they've even done the work. To break free from that, you have to adopt what's called the unconditional action protocol. Deepak Chopra points out that the universe operates entirely on a continuous flow of exchange. When you hoard your effort, your love, or your value, just sitting around waiting for a guarantee, you completely clog the pipes of your own growth. Give 100% of your honesty and effort without expecting an immediate return, and you literally kickstart the engine of the universe in your favor.
Law number 5, backward planning for success and reverse engineering your reality.
Let's be real, sitting around mathing out plans from today forward without actually taking action is just structured procrastination. You might feel like you're working, but you're really just avoiding the starting line. Let's look at how true planning builds in the real world, like with NASA's Apollo moon landing. They absolutely didn't start planning from the launch pad forward. They reverse engineered the whole thing. They started with the end result, a safe landing on the moon. Then they worked backward to positioning the orbit, then back to calculating the fuel and oxygen, all the way back to exactly what had to happen on launch day.
And you can apply this exact NASA strategy to your life right now using the endgame protocol. First, clearly visualize your massive end result 6 months from now. Second, define exactly what has to happen this month to stay on that trajectory. And finally, identify your very first actionable step for today. Listen, if your grand plan doesn't force you to take immediate physical action today, it's not a plan. It's just a pretty daydream.
And finally, law number 6, constant mental evolution and fueling the machine daily.
Okay, so you've built this high-level operating system, but your mind can only generate solutions using the raw materials it actually has access to. Consider the phenomenal story of Frederick Douglass. Born into slavery, he recognized super early on that his most dangerous chains weren't physical, they were mental. At just 12 years old, while others were just trying to survive, he literally traded his precious bread to local boys in exchange for books. He secretly fed his mind with new models and language, evolving his mental state until he became a free man and an incredibly historic leader. It proves a vital point: you cannot solve new problems with an old vocabulary.
And honestly, the best part? You don't need to lock yourself in a library for 8 hours a day to do this. All it takes is 20 minutes of daily compounding. Read something new for 20 minutes, think about it deeply, and apply just one lesson. This daily drip of high-quality information is going to radically expand the possibilities your mind is even capable of perceiving.
So the crucial takeaway here is this: these aren't just 6 random tips to feel good. They interlock into a complete survival guide against mediocrity. Project possibilities instead of complaining. Mine every tragedy for its hidden solution. Set terrifying 10x goals so your old identity is forced to evolve. Give your value unconditionally to activate universal momentum. Reverse engineer your plan so you literally have to act today. And feed your brain new raw materials for 20 minutes every single day.
But listen, I want to leave you with a real warning and a challenge. You can build this incredible high-performance mental engine using these 6 laws. But if you're holding on to dirty thoughts, toxic environments, or destructive habits, you are constantly leaking the exact energy you just worked so hard to generate. Look really closely at your daily routines. Where is your focus draining away right now? Plug those leaks, protect your energy, and watch how quickly your reality transforms. Keep learning, keep evolving, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.